Appreciation Month here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, we're checking out a horror film from 1987. That movie is The Video Dead. Now, I just watched the trailer for The Video Dead because it happened to be on the disc. And from what I picked up, The Video Dead is a movie about a haunted television set which is able to conjure zombies. That sounds really fascinating. It really does. An old black and white TV set that's able to conjure and birth forth zombies. That sounds awesome. I don't know how awesome the final product is going to be, but I was really sold by that trailer. Now, I know that trailers can be horribly fucking leading. In this movie, all 90 minutes of it, I may have already seen the only minute and 40 seconds that is worth watching. Yeah, I checked the time on the trailer. It was 1:40. But hey, who knows? This thing could very well be a real gem. After all, it was sold in a 2-pack with Terror Vision. I'm hoping for a movie in similar style to Terror Vision. I really liked Terror Vision. I'm hoping for this one to also be as good, if not better. But hey, you know what? If it sucks, I still have Terror Vision. I'm not going to complain. But still, I do have hopes for this thing. I want to see if this movie is any good. The only way I'm going to find out if it is any good is if I shut up and I push play. And I'm going to do that right now. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out The Video Dead. So let me see if I understand this. Bunch of zombies crawled out of the TV and they killed the one dude who was living in this house. 3 months have since passed. At least one of those zombies is still out in the woods, and he just killed a dog. My question is this: if that zombie, probably all the others who crawled out of that TV, have been in the woods for the past 3 months, don't you think they'd have gone out and fed? Shouldn't we be in the middle of a massive zombie out fucking break if these zombies were just allowed to roam free in the woods for 3 months? I'm sorry, guys, it just seems a little bit strange that we aren't in the middle of a zombie fucking apocalypse after 3 months of zombies being out and roaming free. It just seems kind of fucked up to me, you know? I got kind of a stupid question. Well, not stupid, logical question. So, these monsters are able to crawl out of this haunted TV, right? So, instead of listening to the dude on the TV who told you to go bury the thing in the basement and put a mirror in front of the screen, why not just smash the screen? If they're all coming through the screen, that means that the screen is the portal between the two worlds. If you smash that portal, nothing else can come through, and you just gotta take care of the zombies that landed 3 fucking months prior. Again, I totally understand that doing that would basically leave us with no fucking movie to speak of, except for hunting down the zombies, but still, it just seems to make more sense to me than put a mirror in front of it and leave it in the basement. And now the TV's bleeding. That was cool. That really was a cool effect. But still, back to my point. Just smash the fucking screen, problem solved. I guess this movie doesn't run on logic, does it? Guess not. Okay, so to answer a question I asked previously, why wasn't there a full-blown zombie outbreak if the ones who busted out of the TV 3 months ago were just, fucking about in the woods? Because apparently these zombies are not the kind who bite people and turn them into zombies. They're just zombies that kill people because killing is fun, killing is awesome, honest to God. And by the way, they're really good at killing people. I've loved every death scene I have seen so far. It's been really creative, really awesome. I can't wait to see the next one. That idiotic plan actually worked. So, one way to kill these zombies is to convince them that they're dead again by killing them the same way you'd kill any other human. So they put 3 arrows into this fucking zombie's chest, and it drops. It's still twitching, but it thinks it's dead, so I guess that worked. Somehow. I don't fucking get it, but at least it worked. Well, I guess that whole will them into death thing really didn't work. All the zombies are getting back up. So now I'm wondering, how the fuck do you kill these goddamn things? I'm really kind of curious now. Well, guys, that was the video dead. Let me shut that off. Okay. So, God, where to even start with this? Okay, first of all, I want to cover something, because I questioned a lot of stuff as the movie went on, and believe it or not, minus those scant few questions that absolutely boggle all logic, everything else here in terms of how the whole zombie thing is handled is done exceptionally well. In fact, I'm just going to come right out and say it. I absolutely love this completely new spin on zombie mythos. This was really well done there. Unfortunately, that's about as far as the positives are going to go in terms of writing. Is I really like how the zombies were handled. I really like the whole fact that you can't really kill these zombies. You can only really just have them kill themselves under certain circumstances. Not going to go into that. Real fascinating, though. It was really interesting, and I really wish that interesting take on zombies was slapped onto a better movie than this. Allow me to explain. The writing in this thing is hideous in terms of trying to build up characters, trying to build tension. The ending, you see the, I guess, like, twist ending, sort of, coming from, like, 10 fucking miles out. Really, it's kind of sort of a shitty ending. Our characters are all really shallow and irritating, and the very few characters you actually begin to kind of like wind up fucking dying, and it's just in general, it's just a poorly written film. The pacing on it is also a little bit shit because it takes forever for anything of interest to actually happen. And the movie is a little bit shit when it comes to actually explaining the whole mythos of the fucking zombies. And when I say that, I mean that when Joshua Daniels shows up, he apparently is this big expert on all these zombies and the video fucking dead and all the shit that comes crawling out of the TV. He knows all the shit about this. And he kind of quickly rattles off everything, and you really, unless you're really focused on what he's saying, you're going to miss out on a whole lot of it. And apparently the movie knows this. So every time that somebody has a thought about, some of the shit that he said, they have to play back that one bit of audio. Like, the zombies only attack you if you show fear, or if you put them in a space where they have no way of getting out, then they'll just kill themselves. A bunch of small shit. And that, I guess, kind of works, but it would have been better if it was more, straight up stated, up front, like up front the first time, instead of it being this, 90 fucking second dump of fucking info that is just there, gone, and then you have to try to process it as the story's going. But you know what, really, through all of that, through the really shallow, really shitty characters, and through the unnatural sounding dialogue, and the somewhat questionable pacing, still, buried underneath all of that is a very fascinating zombie story. And if you're willing to cut through all of the cheese and bullshit, you do have a somewhat fascinating movie here. You have something that's not awful in terms of actually sitting down and watching it, but my God, just if they would have gotten in a writer who could actually fucking develop characters and knows how to write dialogue, this movie would be a hell of a lot better. Instead, it's a really awesome zombie premise, just basically drowning in a friggin' ocean of B-movie cheesy bullshit. And mind you, as someone who's a fan of B-movie bullshit, this honestly was a little bit too much even for me. So, as much as I'm going to praise this movie for coming up with a really cool concept for zombies, unfortunately, it's buried under so much shit that I almost have a difficult time actually enjoying the whole zombie element of it, because it means having to sit through all of this dog shit, and that's a bad thing. Now, it probably wouldn't have been so bad if the actors tried. Oh dear, sweet shit. So, I mentioned dialogue. This is some of the most unnatural dialogue you will ever hear. The actors make it worse. They will take this stilted, unnatural-sounding dialogue, and they will read it off as if they're reading it for the first time from a cue card just off camera. So they will sit there, and they will sound like this, as if they're reading the shit for the very first time. There is no attempt at bringing life to the characters, because they all sound like this. There is no attempt at personality. There is no attempt at acting. It sounds like that for the entire fucking movie, man. There is no attempt at anybody to inject any kind of life into these frickin' characters. The only thing I could say about, the character of April is that she's kind of cute, but she doesn't have any personality to fucking speak of. And when the zombies drag her off to almost certain doom, you really don't care. Because you have no reason to care, because they didn't fucking write her very, very fucking well, and the woman playing her couldn't act to save her fucking soul. And god damn it, that is kind of loud out there. I really hope you guys can't hear that too much. Anyway, acting is horrible. That's straight up. But mind you, the acting isn't so bad it ruins the movie. The acting is the kind of shit you'd see in movies that appeared on Mystery Science Theater. It is the kind of almost dead-eyed, lifeless bullshit you saw in movies like Hobgoblins and The Final Sacrifice, which, mind you, are two fantastic episodes of Mystery Science Theater, because they kind of have the same thing that this movie had. It was a rather interesting premise that's buried under horrible writing and even worse acting. In fact, I think, guys, before I get to anything else about this movie, I want to say this thing seems almost like it was made for Mystery Science Theater. This thing here was made in 1987, and my god, it ticks off almost every box that has to be ticked off for a movie to make for a great episode of Mystery Science Theater. So, if the people working on the Mystery Science Theater reboot are looking for movies to do, try to get the rights for the video dead. You guys will have a great time after you've censored the half fucking dozen swear words, and you remove the one shot of fucking titty. Alright, after that you're totally set. Anyway, the acting here is just cheesy and almost charmingly bad. You know what, though? As much as I can bash on the writing and the acting, I am going to say this. Special effects in this movie are fucking great. I'm talking mainly about the zombie makeup. A whole lot of the zombie makeup looks amazing. Every single zombie has a slightly different, look. Certain ones actually have the skin drooping down as if they've been dead for years. Others have blue fucking skin, so they basically look like a giant, zombified Smurf. One of them I noticed looks kind of sort of like David fucking Bowie, but with blue skin. So kind of looks like if David. So it looks as if David Bowie and a Smurf fucked, and that's the zombie you get. Looked really decent though. Makeup effects here are awesome. Gore effects, what few of them are in here, are done incredibly well. While I'm on the subject of special effects, there actually is a scene when one of the zombies is starting to go nuts, and they put these sacks underneath his makeup, and it began to pulsate, and it looked really cool, especially after the sacks were breaking through the fucking makeup, and it actually fucking looked as if sores were like bursting out of the skin. It looked really fucking cool, guys. There is one zombie who early on gets smashed in the head with a fucking clothing iron, and that iron stays in his head the whole time. And the moment that you see the iron plunge in, and it's just like jutting out of his head like this, it looks really cool. Everything here, guys, in terms of makeup effects were cool. Our special effects here were done incredibly well, and I guess maybe as more of a like cost fucking saving, measure, a whole lot of the gore is off camera, minus like one shot of somebody feeding on a hand, another shot of a hand getting cut off. Those are not the same thing, I should mention. The hand that got cut off was a zombie hand. The one being eaten was in a dream. Spoiler on that. There's one head that's being eaten, but it's a zombie severed head. It's a long story there. And then beyond that, almost everything else is off camera, or you just see the after effect. Like, you don't see the person who got jammed into the washer, but you do see when it fucking drains and just nothing but blood comes spraying out of the hose. Looked really, really cool. So yeah, guys, special effects here were awesome. Music. Our score here was awesome, and what few licensed songs or songs with lyrics they had, those really sucked. But frankly, there's only like 2 of those at best. Everything else here is just pure fucking film friggin' score, and it's done incredibly well. It actually works very, very well for the friggin' genre here. Honestly, guys, damn near everything here works except for how the characters were written and how the film was paced out and how almost god-awful the acting was. And yet still, with all of those problems, would I be able to recommend the Video Dead? If you can find it on a streaming service, yes. If you can find it to rent, sure. If you find it in a 2-pack with Terror Vision, as I got it here, and it's at a reasonable price, like $10, $12, by all means, because that's totally worth it for Terror Vision, for Terror Vision alone, and then the Video Dead is just kind of a bonus. So yeah, guys, if you can find the thing cheap enough, sure, but best bet is to rent it or stream it or pick it up in like a 2-pack or a 3-pack, or because I know this thing's appeared in other like multi-pack DVD things. If you can find it there, by all means pick it up, and then you have a bunch of other movies to go with it, which would then probably justify the purchase price. But to just buy a copy of the Video Dead alone, I would probably have to say no. I honestly, guys, am saying yes to this specific 2-pack just because the other movie is so good that it actually warrants the purchase price all by itself. And then the Video Dead is just kind of a bonus. So yeah, if you can find it cheap enough, especially in some kind of a multi-pack DVD or Blu-ray, pick it up. It's totally worth it then. But to buy it alone, I would have to tell you to rent it first and see if it's something that would be really up your alley. Mind you, I am a big fan of like cheesy, stupid, corny, B fucking grade movies. And this thing was a little bit too much even for me. And the only saving graces it really has are the amazing special effects and the fascinating take on zombies. And that, honestly, to me, is totally enough to warrant me watching it a second time at some point, probably with the fucking commentary on or something. Actually, that one has a couple of different commentary tracks. So I'm going to watch it at least 2 more times just to get through the commentaries. Anyway, guys, because it's Fan Appreciation Month, the Video Dead came off the Amazon wish list, and the person who sent it in messaged me after I told him I got nothing when I covered Terror Vision. It is a YouTuber by the name of Mr. Flipper Invader 782, and his YouTube channel is one of those really long YouTube channels made up of a garbled code of letters. So I am just going to provide the link in this video's description. Please, guys, swing over there. Check out anything that he has. Dude, I thank you. I had no idea about either of these movies when I first put them on the Amazon wish list. And, frankly, I had no idea when you bought them, because I didn't look up anything at all. The only reason why I put it on the wish list, honest to God, is because, like, 2 people asked me to cover Terror Vision, and I thought, what the hell, I can at least get 2 movies out of it this way. And at least Terror Vision was awesome. The fucking Video Dead is okay, but I'm gonna be keeping this more for fucking Terror Vision than I am anything else. But dude, either way, I would not have known if you hadn't sent this in, and for that I thank you. You're fucking awesome. Once more, guys, his YouTube screen name is Mr. Flipper Invader 782, and if you don't want to click on the link, at least do a YouTube check or do a YouTube search for the name Mr. Flipper Invader 782, and hopefully his channel will be the first thing you see. Now, I kind of feel like watching another zombie movie. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to watch. I've got plenty of choices. Actually, perfect! I haven't watched that one since I fucking covered it for a reaction and review. I'm gonna go watch Cockneys vs. Zombies, because I got the fucker on Blu-ray. I loved it the first time I watched it. I think it's time to give that thing a second viewing. And with that, my friends, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.